Anyway. Right. So we're here now with New Zealand's new sporting star on the global stage, Nikki Hamblin. And Nikki, first of all, are you able to talk us through what exactly went on out on the track down there in that moment?
Yeah, I mean, I actually don't really know. Like, it happened so quickly. I sort of saw some movement, like up in my sort of left corner somewhere. I think one of the girls sort of maybe came in on someone up in front of me, and it's just a chain reaction. And then the next thing I know, like I'm on the floor, and I'm like, okay, I'm on the floor, and you sort of go through that check of like, am I okay? And then suddenly I feel this hand on my shoulder, like shaking my shoulder, like get up, you have to finish. And it's Abby, the American girl, and I'm so grateful for her for bringing me back to my senses and realizing, it's the Olympic Games, you have to get up, you have to finish. And yeah, possibly without her I might still be on the track, so yeah.
But then you kind of returned the favour as well when you saw that she was struggling a bit.
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing is like once you're down in that kind of race, you're not getting back on the pack. I mean, it's just not going to happen. It's the Olympic Games. Like, this is the best of the best competing here. And she had helped me up, and then I sort of thought, oh, she's helping me up, so she must be okay. And then I realized that she wasn't okay, and I'm like, no, but come on, we can do this together. Like, we still had 4.5 laps to go, which I mean, I was confident physically I could get up and finish, but it's still a lonely 5 or 6 minutes out there. And when I started running again, and I tried to get her to come, but she, like, her knee seemed really bad. So I didn't think she was going to finish. She was like, go on, keep running. And then I turned around at the finish line, and there she comes, and she'd run 4.5 laps with just like a knee that wasn't being like a knee, and I can't believe that she was able to do that. Like, it's so inspiring.
And you waited at the finish line there for her and gave her a big hug afterwards. What did you guys say to each other at that time?
I mean, I don't really remember. I don't think there's anything that you can say. I mean, I think there's a shared sort of understanding once you get to this level of what it actually takes to get here, and it's so hard. Like, it's so worth it, but it is so hard. And for, I guess, the Olympics, for us to end like that is pretty heartbreaking. I mean, especially if she's hurt. I mean, I know she's young, so she's going to have so many more opportunities in front of her. But still, you don't want your Olympic Games to go out like that. But then, having said that, in 20 years' time, when I think about what happened to me in Rio, that is going to be the moment, and that's pretty awesome.
And you say to go out like that, but you're not out like that. Can you tell me what happened with being put through to the finals and not having to launch a protest?
Yeah, so I wasn't really aware. Like, I didn't even really think too much about it. I sort of took my time in the mix zone and enjoyed it. You don't get a mix zone like that. You get it once every 4 years, and so I was chatting to people. I was watching the men's 1500 on the TV screen, like, come on guys, like, cheering for them to get through. And our team management said, do you want to protest? And I said, I don't know, like, I don't know what happened. I know it was really quick. So I said, go and talk to Steve, my coach, who was here, and if he looks at it and decides there's a protest to be made, then make it's his call. It's totally his call. But then apparently our high performance manager got into the protest room, was halfway through writing out the form, and some guy comes over and taps him on the shoulder and says, mate, you don't need to worry about that. So yeah, another opportunity to wear the black singlet on a start line. Obviously would have rather run myself into the final, but I think at that point in the race it wasn't clear who was going to make it through, and I was with the girls who did qualify, so a weird way to make a final, but another opportunity, and I'm looking forward to racing again.
And now, is it right that you only decided to compete in this after your 1500s effort as well a couple of days ago?
Yeah. So I came here to run the 1500. That was all I was thinking about. That was all I wanted to do. Obviously, didn't go the way that I had wanted it to go. straight after that race, I was 99% sure I was done. I'm like, I'm calling it a season. I want to go home. Like wasn't a fairy tale Olympic Games that everyone wants it to be. And then yesterday morning, 8:30 in the morning, I get a text from my coach. You need to come down and decide what you're going to do because we have to scratch you by 9 a.m. So I literally had like 20 minutes to make a decision, and I went down and I was like, I don't know. And they were like, okay, well, we'll leave you on the start list. You can always not turn up to the quorum, which is probably not the best thing to do, but it was still, that I could still not run it. And then we have a really amazing team here, so I sat in breakfast with Steve, my coach, and Julian Matthews and Hamish Carson, and I'm like, come on guys, like, what do you think? Like, throw it open to the floor, like, tell me. And basically the consensus of the conversation was going to be that you don't want to have any regrets. Like, you don't want to look back in 2 days or go and, because I would have gone to watch to cheer on Lucy, so it wasn't like, oh, if you watch Lucy, you're going to wish you were on the start line, or in 3 years' time, or in 10 years' time, like, are you going to wish that you tried? And so I'm like, yeah, I really don't have anything to lose. Like, I'm so naive about the 5K. Like, that was actually my third 5K on the track ever. So I didn't really know what to expect. I didn't know what kind of hurt I would have to go through. So just, yeah, I'm really, really glad I went to the start line and I put it out there and I ran, yeah.
And speaking of hurt, how are you? Are you going to be all good to race this final?
Yeah, I'm going to be fine. I mean, obviously I went down and I got trod on, which is never like an ideal scenario, but like, I'm fine. A little few scrapes and bruises and things, but apart from that, great.
And I'm not sure if you've had much time to kind of see all of the things that have been written about you two, you and Abby, in that moment, and it's being lauded as, one of the most moving moments of the Olympic Games so far. You're being called inspirational. I mean, what do you make of all of that?
I mean, like, literally, I haven't actually stopped and looked at anything since I stopped running. I guess we're still here for performance. Like, once I found out I was in the final, like, I got a massage, like, I had lunch, I had an ice bath, jumped in the shower and came down here. So I mean, I don't know. Like, I mean, I think it's something that's probably quite important in terms of, a lot of people think about the Olympics and they think about medals and about winning, but really the Olympics should be something much greater than that. And like, Abby sort of picking me up off the track and then finishing, like, with her knee the way it was, is like, it's incredible. Like, that's Olympic spirit right there.
Don't understate your own involvement with this.
I mean, I don't know, like, I mean, it wasn't like an intention, like, I wasn't like, I don't know, like, but I think at some point you have to just be a good human being, and, if someone picks you up, you have to, try and do the same for them, and I don't know.
Oh, that is awesome. And just quickly as well, we're doing the Facebook Live and we've got so many comments saying things like, so proud, wow, super lovely, that's amazing. Is there anything you would like to say to people back home?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, no, I really don't know. Like, it's pretty crazy. And look, I try and make everyone just as proud in the final, in the 5K, and yeah, thank you.